So I woke up at 6 AM for 3 weeks, and this is what happened. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit different. It's more like a sit down chat with you about something that I tried, a little experiment, a personal development experiment that I did over the course of 3 weeks. Now, anyone who knows me and all my friends always takes a mickey out of me because I always Google everything, and during my day-to-day life at work and things like that, while I'm in the studio and while I'm working, I really like to listen to podcasts. And I have been hearing of this idea of waking up at like 5 or 6 AM every morning, having a great morning routine to help your business and your life grow and develop. The only problem with this was that I naturally am a night owl, but I thought maybe this is just an excuse. Maybe I just say I'm a night owl so that I can sleep in for a little bit. So I thought, right, I'm going to give myself 3 weeks of getting up consistently at 6 o'clock in the morning, and maybe my body clock will shift and I'll suddenly become this morning person who wakes up and is like, come on, I am here. So that's what I did for 3 weeks consistently. So let's jump in to week number 1 and my experience in the first week. So before I settled down for the night, it was around about 10 o'clock, probably a little bit too late if you want to get your 8 hours in if you're waking up at 6 o'clock, but I set my alarm and the first morning came round and my alarm went off at 6 AM, and what did I do? I clicked the snooze button about 3 times. So I actually didn't end up getting up till 6:15 or 6:20. Day 1. Semi-successful. Still got up, spent my day, thought, yeah, this is great. Went to the gym, did my exercise that I've also started doing, and went to my office. Was in my office by 8 AM. Thought, wow, this is amazing. I'm usually just about getting up around about now, and here I am in my office feeling great about myself. So that was day 1, and I felt pretty good. I was quite tired towards the end of the day, but all in all, success for day number 1. As the week progressed, I kept pressing snooze. So I wasn't actually getting up at 6 AM. I was getting up at like 6:30. So I then went to Dr. Google again and searched what I can do to actually stop pressing snooze. And the option was put your phone at the other end of the room. So that's what I did. I put my phone, and it's still there, at the end of the room. And I think I'll stick with this, because what I found by doing this was I wasn't scrolling on social media till like 2 AM or anything like that, because my phone was at the other end of the room and I just couldn't be bothered to do that. And it also meant that I got to read Harry Potter. So I got my book out and I read Harry Potter and I fell asleep. I don't know why, but somehow reading makes me more sleepy than reading on the phone. There must be some sort of scientific proof about it. I haven't quite googled that yet, but I will eventually, probably. During the end of the week, I thought, right, next week I'm going into it with a new mindset. No more 6:30, but I was still pretty proud, if not a little bit tired by the end of the week. But still proud of myself that I'd managed to get up before 7 AM. Basically. And I also found that on the weekends I would allow myself lying, even though some studies say you should get up at the same time every single day. I didn't want to do that, okay? I did not want to do that. So at the weekends I found myself getting up naturally about 7:30, and I was like, an hour earlier than my usual wake up time. My usual wake up time is about 8 to 9 o'clock, kind of. So yeah, pretty much successful. Second week rolls around and I think, right, I will put my phone at the other end of the room and I will not snooze. My alarm goes off. I'm a very light sleeper. I have to get up to turn my alarm off. Okay? So yes, I'm out of bed. I might as well stay up, mightn't I? No, what do? I unplug my phone and take it to the side of my bed and press snooze. What is going on? day one of no snooze equals failure. But I still got up at about 6:20 again, so still getting up okay. Towards the end of the second week, I got it down. I started not pressing snooze. I got up, turned my phone off, thought, right, really try this time, Catherine, really try and stay up. So I did. I stayed up and I didn't snooze. But then I fell into problem number 2, which was I was knackered all day. I thought by the end of the second week, I would feel like my rhythm was sorted out. I was going to bed because I was reading a book. I'd get up feeling refreshed and invigorated, when in fact the opposite was happening. My body was fighting me with all its might to stay in bed, screaming at me, I am not ready to get up yet. And I kept ignoring it and I kept pushing through, thinking, no, I have to be consistent to make my body change its rhythm. So then third week rolls around, and at this point I am just knackered. I'm knackered. What more can I say? I'm freaking knackered. I want to sleep forever. No, not forever. I don't want to sleep forever because but I want to just sleep, okay? Just let me sleep. Third week has rolled around and I'm well and truly sick of it. So I'm going to point out some pros and some cons that I found of this waking up at 6 AM malarkey. Pro number 1, you do feel great. Your mind feels great. You don't punish yourself. I have a habit of punishing myself, thinking, feeling guilty, like, look at all these successful entrepreneurs out there who are getting up at 5 AM and doing all this stuff while you're still asleep. But what they don't do is on a night time. They might not work. I don't know how it goes, but everyone is different. And so my pro number 1 was basically I felt good in myself that I was getting up this early and I was this sophisticated woman suddenly that I've always wanted to be. But the con of this was I felt extremely tired during the day. Like, no amount of coffee could solve it. So I'd have the buzz on the morning from the cup of coffee that I have, or 2 cups of coffee, and I can't go beyond 2 cups of coffee because then I am just a nervous ball of anxiety for the rest of the day. So second cup of coffee is going great. Around about 3 PM I found myself dipping, like totally crashing and feeling very unmotivated, very unproductive, and it just wasn't working for me. And I normally finish around about 5-6 PM during the day, but I allowed myself to go home a little earlier because I was getting up earlier. But then I thought to myself, what is the point in that? What is the point in depriving myself of cozy sleep time if I'm actually not producing the same amount of work? In fact, I was less productive in those 3 weeks than I would have been if I had a good night's sleep. Now, my body does not let me sleep for some odd reason before 11 PM. Like, I just can't fall asleep before that time. I'm not sure why. So 3 weeks are into it and I thought I was going to totally change my lifestyle at this point. And I thought after 3 weeks you're going to start getting into the cycle. I'm going to start being able to fall asleep at 9:30. No, it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. I was still wide awake on the night time. What was going on? It's just crazy. Like, I just couldn't do it. And then I basically evaluated the whole 3 weeks as a whole and outweighed the pros and cons. Pros were mentally, I felt great for getting up at that time. Well, not actually, because my mental clarity towards the middle of the day was kind of going like that. But I felt good in myself that I was making the conscious effort to get up early, if that makes sense. However, when I looked at the whole productivity ball of stuff that I was getting done, I actually found that I was less productive. Because usually what happens with me is I get another burst of energy after my tea time and end up getting my sketchbooks out or getting my iPad out and doing some illustrations. And if you've followed me on Instagram, you'll have seen the only illustrations I've really done are on a weekend when I've had a good night's sleep. Now, considering I'm a freelance illustrator, this is a pretty big deal. Like, this is not a good sign, because what was happening was I would come home and rather than getting that second burst of energy that I normally get after a work day, feeling creative and inspired, I just felt knackered. So I turned on Netflix, turned on Terrace House and just sat like a potato for 3 weeks on the couch because I was so tired. So my conclusion to this is, basically, don't try and fit a mould of other successful people. You need to be your own success story. We hear this all the time, I've heard it all the time, don't compare yourself to others and all that, but you never really listen to the advice until you listen to your own body. I work better working a bit later. Who is with me? Who is a night owl or who is an early bird? I'm secretly jealous of you early birds out there, because it is quite good getting up that early and it feels like everyone else is still in bed and you're out ready to start the day. But the problem is, if you are then knackered after 3 p.m. and the whole day is ruined after that, then what is the point? What's the point? And I just basically wanted to talk to you about this because I wanted you to see that your idea or other people's success stories don't have to be your own success story. I hope one day to be a success story to myself, and the only way I can do that is being true and authentic to myself and sleeping when I want to sleep. Having that extra hour lying really helps, and comparing yourself to others doesn't get you anywhere. Listen to your own body, listen to your own mind, and see what works for you. Basically, it's all good. Self-improvement is very good, and if you found that getting up at 6 a.m. makes you more productive and you outweighed the pros and cons, you stick with that. Just don't try and copy a model of other people. I really need to start taking my own advice here, because this is something I suffer with hugely. Comparing myself to other success stories. When you listen to like Tony Robbins or Elon Musk and they're like, I work 25 million hours a day and I get up at 5 a.m, drink my smoothie, do some meditation, do some of all this, and then I'm in my office by 7 a.m, working till 9 p.m. That isn't going to work for me. It's not. I've tried it and I got severely burnt out. I felt burnt out after getting up at 6 a.m. for the last 3 weeks and it just didn't work. So I am back to normal me. Look at me, I'm full of energy. Guess why? Because I had a sleep in. Oh, maybe I'm not an early bird, maybe I'm just me, and you should be you too. Be your authentic self, work when you're really inspired and all the good work comes out of you, especially if you're an artist. There's no point forcing yourself to fit a mould of someone else, because chances are you'll feel run down, you won't feel inspired, you won't feel creative, and you'll be knackered by the end of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really wanted to share my experience with you. It was a really chilled talk and I like sitting down and just talking with you. I also want to say a huge thank you for the response that my studio vlog got that I uploaded on Tuesday. I can't believe how many of you enjoyed it. I'm so happy. There will be more studio vlogs to come. I really enjoyed filming them. I enjoy filming these with you. I hope you liked this video too. Please let me know if you did, if you like to know the experience and kind of self-experimentation that I go through to try and make myself a better me. I would love to be a morning person. Who knows, maybe when I'm 40 or something like that, it might suddenly change and I might become a morning person. But for now, I'm going to stick to being me and I'm going to stick to having a nice sleep because I like it. Well, yeah. Right, thanks for watching, guys. I love you so much. Big internet hugs. Love you, bye. You're the best. Okay, I love you, bye.